this is your sign to start retard maxing. You have to be more retarded with the decisions you make. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you have a goal, if you want to do something with yourself, stop over-analyzing, overthinking every possible outcome that could go wrong. Just give something a shot, no matter what ends up happening, and just keep fucking going. You know, everyone always feels like they have to have the perfect plan, have to make sure the conditions are perfect before actually starting. When in reality, you know, a lot of those guys, you know, they'll think about the perfect plan so long to the point they just never even try. You know, and I'm a victim of that. I used to fucking do that shit. You know, when I was a second year apprentice, I was about 17, 18 years old. I came across Andrew Tate talking about escape the matrix and, you know, how I should have bigger goals for myself, take care of my family. And I really aligned with something like that. And I came to the realization, hey, like, in my trade, you know, what I'm getting qualified in right now, I'm never going to be able to reach these goals working this job. I know I need to make more money. I need to figure out how to get into online business. But for a good year, I thought about it. I was fearful. I was scared that things wouldn't work out. And I was constantly looking at like every different business model I could try, thinking, oh no, this is too oversaturated, or this is too competitive, this isn't going to work out, and just never even starting. And I wasted, you know, 1 to 2 years in this process, getting fucking nowhere with it. And I genuinely think, you know, the most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the smartest. They're just the people that give something a shot, no matter what ends up happening. They just try, bro. They just fucking give it a go, because it's like, the truth is, you're never gonna get something right the first time round. You know, when have you ever tried a new sport, tried to drive a car, tried to ride a bicycle, and actually got it right the first time round? And even if you do, it's a fluke. Like, let's be real, you're not going to be able to do it the next time round. You're not going to be able to do it on a consistent basis because you haven't learnt it properly. And it's like, why are you expecting to get into online business and think, hey, like, I'm going to get this right first time around, and if I don't, then it doesn't work, or I failed and I'm just going to give up entirely? It's not how this works. You give something a shot and you will fail, you will make mistakes, but that's how you learn. That's how you grow. You know, and for me, when I was about 18, 19, more so 19, I actually started looking into things. I said, hey, fuck, like, I need to stop overthinking and just give something a shot. And I spent like 8 months getting fucking nowhere, bro. Like, I actually did try so many different business models. I tried SMMA, I tried dropshipping, I tried crypto, I tried day trading, I tried SaaS, I tried everything. Anything you could think of, reselling. I tried it all. And I actually did make a little bit of money here and there, but it was never enough to be able to like leave my job and pursue it full time. And in, you know, that 8-month process, even though on paper I didn't make a whole lot, for me, it helped me understand, okay, I need to get into sales. Like, this is what led me to sales. I was like, I cannot start a business because I don't have any skill sets yet. Let me learn the #1 skill that will help me have control over my time, control over my money. See, sales, you get paid based on how you perform. And without that 8-month period of me just trying shit, I wouldn't have understood that. And sales was what changed my life entirely, bro. Like, sales actually fucking helped me build the foundation, I should say, to be able to start my own business, you know, start content, do all these fucking crazy ass shit. And again, it's like, you know, I could have, you know, at the start of my journey, you know, when I first started, you know, drop shipping, and it didn't work out for me, I could have just said, oh, fuck, you know, it doesn't work out, let me just give up. But instead, it was just like continuing to give a fucking go every fucking day, no matter what ends up happening. And this is where retard maxing is so fucking important. You know, there was so many times, like, I have made crazy decisions that look retarded to most people. They look delusional. The truth is, you have to be fucking delusional. You're never gonna make it without being fucking delusional. You know, like, for me, when I was in my 3rd year apprenticeship, I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna quit my trade. You know, I was so done with it. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit it. I'm gonna go all in on online business. And it was retarded, right? Because then I had to move out of home. My mom kicked me out of home. I was like all on my own. I had so much more responsibility. I had bills to pay now, like rent to pay, grocery bills to pay, whatever, right? And I was like, fuck, you know, this is a lot on my plate. This sounds retarded, but I made so much more progress with that. You know, another crazy retarded decision I made, I invested over $15,000 into, you know, courses, into training, to learn the skills that I have now. And again, you know, most people look at, holy fuck, like $15,000. Why would you ever do that? That's fucking crazy. But it worked out, you know. And in some cases, you know, it may not work out exactly to plan, but you only learn, you only fucking grow when you try shit, when you make mistakes. But if you just stay in your fucking comfort zone, you never make retarded decisions, how the fuck do you learn? You know, if you stay comfortable, stay in the same spot forever, how do things change for you? So it's almost like you have to do the retarded shit to learn, right? And then use that, like, adapt to it. You get me? Start fucking retard maxing, bro. You know, and the process of like overthinking, again, you just waste so much fucking time. The truth is like the best time to start's always going to be fucking yesterday. You know, if you had that thought in your head where you're like, you know, I know I'm meant for more, I know I can do more, but you never actually put the work into actually achieving that, what are you doing? You're wasting fucking time, bro. And it's like, yesterday's already gone, right? Maybe for me, I thought about wanting to get into online business for like 2 years before I actually tried anything. It's like 2 years ago I should have tried, realistically, right? But the second best time is right fucking now. You just gotta start now. Because when you overthink it, you kind of fuck yourself. You fuck yourself entirely, bro. Because it's like, oh, again, what if this goes wrong? What if this happens, that happens? You know, it's a stupid way of thinking. If you're always thinking, hey, what if, worst case scenario, what if I fucking die tomorrow? What's the point of even living? You know, work on what you have right now. Focus on the present, not what could happen. What could you make of it? What is possible? And when you start thinking that way and having self-belief, because that's the other thing. If you don't believe you can make it work, you're never going to be able to make it work. Right? It's like playing basketball. You know, I played a bit of basketball growing up. It's like when you're on that 3-point shot line, right? And you have the ball in your hands, you have an open three. If you don't think you can sink it, you have a higher chance that you're going to miss. But if you have full fucking confidence that you're going to sink it, obviously your chances are higher. You still may miss it, but you believe in yourself, you'll make it. But it's like self-belief. Like, how do we even build that? How do we build that confidence? Is just by trying shit. Is by doing the work, doing the repetition. Because like you only get confidence by being that guy. You know, when you're, again, we relate it back to basketball. It's like you're gonna have so much more confidence that you're gonna sink that 3-pointer because you know you trained every fucking night to sink that shit. Right? That's how you build confidence. And it's the same with business. It's like if you want full confidence that you are gonna make it fucking work, bro, study every fucking night. Work on it now. Work on it now, bro. What is actually holding you back? You have to start being more of a retard, bro. I promise it will change your life. Every fucking, you know, like how I got to this point right now led from making retarded decisions. It sounds stupid, but it's so true. Stop trying to be this smart motherfucker. You know, I actually am a retard. Like, I dropped out of school. I was 16 years old. I dropped out of school, went into a trade. I barely know how to fucking spell, cunt. You know, I'm no one special. I just tried. And you're holding yourself back from your own potential. A lot of us know our own fucking potential. But you gotta ask yourself, like, how much longer are you gonna hold yourself back from who you can actually become? You know, I'm trying to think back to, like, all the retarded things I've ever fucking done. Bro, even when I started making money, when I made my first $8,000 a month. Sorry, not 8,000. I made my first $10,000 a month. And I was living at home actually, back with my mom for a bit. And I was kind of getting comfortable because I didn't have bills to pay when I was at home. I dropped 8,000 of that 10,000 on 2 months of an Airbnb to stay in. It's like, why would you do that, bro? Like, why would you not just save that $10,000? But I almost had a mindset of abundance. I was like, I'm gonna be a retard here. I'm gonna do this. I know I just spent a lot of money. I'm taking a bet on myself here. In this 2 months, because I know I've got a lot on the line, I'm gonna work my ass off to make it worth it. You know, I find like whenever you do make retarded decisions, it's like you have to, it gives you that urgency to have to make it work now. You know, again, when I moved out of home, when I quit my job, I was like, I have to make this work. A retarded decision, but I had to make it work. Spent $8,000 on 2 months of an Airbnb, and that was like, you know, $8,000 from my bank account, right? $2,000 to my name. I have to make this work now. You know, coming here, when I dropped to 18K on this fucking villa, it's like, I have to fucking make this work. I have to make something of it. I have to film content. I have to work harder. I just dropped 18K. And like, I'm halfway through this trip, 3 days in out of the 7 days. I've already made 10 grand. I'm on track to fucking making the whole 20K back. You know, because it's just giving yourself that urgency to have to do it. And I think that's what so many of us lack. It's like, what would you do if you had to make it work? Right now, it's like, oh, I would like to get into online business, but like, I can live without it. I've got a job. It's steady. It's a steady income. You know, life's alright. I can, you know, save a decent amount of money. I can still see my friends. I can still do this and that. You're too comfortable, right? You like the idea of something. You like the idea of making money and working remotely and whatever. It's not like you have to do it. Put yourself in a position where you have no fucking choice. Especially if you struggle with like motivation, struggling with just taking action. Find that urgency. I can think of so many times where I had plenty of fucking urgency, like when I was retardmaxxing, but even like when I was stuck in a job, you know, I had so much urgency because I just knew that I could do so much fucking more. I fucking knew it. I was just like looking at the people I was working with and I was like, cunt, I do not even belong here. I deserve so much better. I believe in that, and you know, to some people that may sound, you know, egotistical, but sometimes you have to be a little bit like that. Sounds egotistical, but where are those people right now? Oh, they're stuck in a job. Oh, they're not chasing their goals. Oh, they're nowhere in fucking life. Right? Why would I listen to them? Be egotistical. Fucking believe in yourself. Understand what you actually want from this life and take it, bro. Because it's all up to you. You know, there's so many guys out there that just complain about their life, bro. They just complain. They're a victim to their own life. But do you understand how stupid that is? Because again, it's entirely up to you. Every decision you ever made has led you to the point where you're at right now. So does it ever make sense to keep making those decisions when it's going to keep you there? When it's kept you there this whole time? Don't you feel like you have to make different decisions? Make decisions most people won't. Right? There's a reason why most people stay in the same spot, is because you have to do the shit that the 99% of people won't do. And again, that's where retardmaxxing comes into play. It looks retarded to everyone else, but you believe in yourself that this this decision you're going to make is going to pay off. So do it. Stop fucking around, bro.